All right, guys, so we're back on the Google Ads cheat sheet for tour operators, and now we're looking at number 4 in the list. If this is the first video you're watching, we're going through each of the 9 areas to improve your Google Ads budget or your Google Ads spend or your results. And we are on number 4, so you might find links to other videos depending on where you're seeing this. But we will move right into number 4, which is broad match keywords. This is truly one of the biggest culprits of wasted ad spend, in my opinion. These are the ones that Google defaults to at the moment. And basically they can show ads to keywords that they think are similar or relevant to what you want to show an ad for. But a lot of times they're not correct. So they don't always get it right. So from that perspective, it could be a big waste. And if you don't understand how that works and you just set up a campaign or somebody else set it up for you, not understanding this, this is where I see the most waste in a Google ad budget and the most opportunity in a lot of cases. If you're somewhat advanced, this is less of an issue, but a lot of times this is a pretty big opportunity and it's really easy to find, and now it's even pretty easy to fix too. So one of the things I want to mention though is that this broad match thing is not going to be a problem in the near future. They're going to be getting rid of broad match keywords here pretty soon. Actually, broad modified is a match type which we typically recommend. That's going away soon. So what I'm going to do is show you how to use the 2 remaining match types. I'll kind of explain them a little bit in a minute, because depending on when you watch this video, as of right now, this is going to be happening any month now, so pretty soon. And I hate to have you go back through this and have to fix things again if we can just take care of it now. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Give me 1 second to hop in there. Okay, so we are back in a Google Ads account. This is a different one this time. But all you need to do when you log in, if you don't see a page that looks like this, just get to your campaigns section or all campaigns. And then you want to look for keywords. And you want to choose search keywords, which will be the default option that will pop up. And here we have some options for seeing keywords. I'm just looking at all-time data. And you can sort this by cost if you want. One helpful thing is sometimes you don't have this match type column in your view. If you're not really familiar with Google Ads, you may not know if you're looking at a broad match keyword or not. So what you can do is go to columns, click on attributes, and then match type would be one that you want to select. And usually it defaults to the bottom, or maybe right here. I just drag it to the top, but it's right next to what's closest to the keyword as we can make it. And then you can tell right here, okay, that's a broad match keyword. But the easy way to find this now, and what I recommend is obviously looking at all campaigns, so you know where they are in your whole account, is simply doing a filter. So we're going to add a filter, and we're going to look for attributes, and we're going to say attributes match type is broad match. Okay, we're going to look for 2 things. So in the cheat sheet, we're looking for number 1, are there any broad match keywords? And if so, the old way we would want to do it is make sure that they're a broad modified match type, which are not necessarily bad at all. It just gives you more control. So where Google would normally show your keyword, showing your ad, show your ad to a keyword that's very loosely relevant or sometimes not relevant at all, but they think it is. Having a plus in front of the word would tell Google this keyword or this part of the word has to be there, or some very close variant of that. They are, less respecting that these days, but this is part of what we were looking at here, so I just want to explain what that is. And so if you're using broad modified keywords, those are typically not as big of an issue. But again, I'll show you even how in those cases we can replace them with the phrase match and broad match. Phrase match and exact. So right now we're going to look for any broad match keywords. We hit apply, and then you can see I've got all these pluses in front of our words. Those are broad modified. Those are good. Those are fine. You can see that we have one here that somebody forgot to put the exact match bracket at the end of it. And so technically it's considered a broad match. So what we want to do now is if we say, all right, we're happy with the way these keywords are with broad match modified with the pluses. We just want to fix the ones that are not. I'll show you how to do both, but we would just basically make a change right here, looking for all keywords that are broad match, whether they have a plus in front of them or not. Okay. If we say we just want to fix the problems, which is mainly what we would do with the cheat sheet, we'd want to go in here back to attributes. We'd want to scroll down to the end or close to it, keyword text. and we would say keyword text does not contain the plus symbol. And then we'd get rid of all of our broad modified, and we'd find the ones that are the problem keywords. These are the remaining keywords that are broad match. They are not the broad modified. These are typically our problem children, which this is way before our time working on this account. But let's just take a quick look. Click-through rate wasn't bad. Conversion rate was 0.69% when it was running. Cost per conversion is 143. For context, our cost per conversion is a third of that nowadays. Conversion rate is closer to 4 or 5% depending on the campaign. So you can get an idea that things are not going well, and that's assuming that the tracking was working just as well back in those days. It may not have been. I'm not really sure. But that was before my time, so I can't really speak to it. So what we want to do now, how do we fix this problem? So again, if we're only interested in fixing the non-broad modified, we would just do it from here. But I think you should probably consider doing this for your broad modified keywords if you don't already have, the phrase match and exact match versions of them in your account already. And all we need to do is make sure we have these selected keywords. You'd select all. You may just want to do this for a certain campaign. So at this point, it's a good idea to maybe click back on your campaigns tab and then just use these same filters under the keywords for that individual campaign. Or you can just add a filter, which could be like a campaign, attributes, and it could be campaign is, and you could choose your list of campaigns from like a checkbox, and you would do it there. So you may not want to do it for your entire account. Maybe you just want to do it for a set of campaigns. That would be perfectly fine. Or even maybe a set of ad groups. Really depends on you. But what we do is just select them all. And notice that right now it's only selecting the first 200. If you have a lot of these keywords that are problems, you're going to want to hit select all to make sure you're doing this for everybody or everything. Hit edit. You can choose to change match types. Change all match types right here. And you can just say, what you want to do is choose the match type. I would recommend doing both exact and phrase. And then I would choose to keep original keywords and create duplicates. Now why? Because if you change the keywords that are already in here that have data, that data is going to get lost. They're going to delete it. So you don't really, you're still going to have at the campaign level, at the ad group level, but that keyword level, you're going to lose all that data. I think it's bad to do that if you can help it. So what you're going to want to do is basically, let's just say we have to do this twice. So the first time might be exact match, and then we'll preview it to make sure it works correctly. And then we're going to want to apply if it does look good. And then we're going to want to do the same process again and use it for phrase match, right? Make sure this is selected, do a preview. It's always good to preview, and then hit apply. So if I just do a quick preview, I'm not going to actually apply this. I'm just going to preview it. I'm just looking for anything that looks like it might not be working well, and you'll get a feel for that in a moment. I'm just going to pause this for a minute. Okay, so you can see right here, this keyword would have been changed from this keyword to this keyword. That looks good to me, looks good to me, looks good to me. So I would apply this if I was ready to do this. So once we've applied it, one's for phrase match and one's for exact match, like you see here, then you're going to want to pause all of the keywords that you did this for. So now you can see, once I get rid of that part, now I've got all these keywords still selected. I'm going to want to basically hit edit and then pause. Now, I would tell you this, it's probably not a bad idea. If these keywords are driving calls, even though, they're not doing the best, but you are getting calls from them, it might be a good idea to wait 24 hours after making those changes to give those keywords some time to get the traffic, because you don't want to turn this off and you have no calls the next day because maybe something took a little while to get, to get kicked in. So I would personally just say let it overlap for 24 hours and then come in here and just, pause all. Use the same filters we just went over, which are these, right? Select all. Make sure you select all, and then you can pause them. So, sorry guys, that's what happens when you run a business. So that's what I would do. And then basically you'll be in a good position now. You'll have gotten rid of all your broad match keywords. You have updated your broad modified to phrase and exact. There may be some you already have in your account. If you do and they're already in those ad groups, they should not create a duplicate. You won't usually be able to add duplicate keywords, so you shouldn't have any issue there. But it's going to cover all those bases and make sure that you're not wasting ad budget on keywords that typically perform very, very poorly. So hope that helps, and I will see you on item number 5 in the checklist in the next video. Thanks.